leg. We're going to take the weakest side, we're going to take the second highest value on the weakest side, and we're going to use that as a reference to determine what is the right force for you. As default, we're going to have 50% of that dynamic strength test as your target force. However, we can change that percentage based on your requirements. If you're early in rehab, we can bring that percentage down, say, to a 30%. If you're top elite athlete, we may be working you out at 65% or even 70%. But as long as we work out sub-maximally, we're going to get the most efficient way of exercising, and you're going to get the most out of your exercise. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with dosing. And the first dosing that we're going to do, we're going to look at our settings. Your input seat position is number 11. And now we strike length number 3. We have 3 strike lengths: long, medium, and short, and they have different applications. The long one, the muscle will be stretched for a longer range, so therefore it's a longer period of time. And obviously the short one will be more of a fast twitching type of pump action as more in your athletic environment. So we're going to do a dosing warm-up, and I just want you to just learn the movement, and you're going to see values for the left and the right. The left is going to be represented by a red color, and the right by a blue color. So again, I just want you to be comfortable with the movement. Very nice. So again, you're resisting against the pedals. You're not pushing with the pedal. You're resisting against the pedal, which is isolating your eccentric contraction in the lower extremities. It's just a warm-up, getting to get the movement. Now we're going to do the actual testing or the actual dosing. So I just want you to give me your maximum effort within comfort range. Very nice. All right, very nice. Your target force has been determined to be 771 newtons. That tells me that on your weakest side, the second highest repetition was twice that. Our session will be 5 minutes for the first time, and the default speed is 23 repetitions per minute. As far as speed is concerned, I can go as high as a repetition every 1.2 seconds. In other words, you have an eccentric contraction every 1.2 seconds. Or I can take it as slow as 5 seconds, which means a full cycle of eccentric contraction will last about 5 seconds, or 2.5 seconds on each leg. The target has been set at 771, and we're going to move on into our exercise screen. The system will adjust to the settings. And now we have your target zone is 385 newtons. Why is that? The first minute will be a warm-up. And during the warm-up, we're going to take half of your target force. So in other words, 50% of your target force or 25% of your dynamic maximum. After the 1 minute, it's going to jump into 771. Again, we want to take you to your sub-maximal peak performance level. And we're going to work out until minute 4, at which point you're going to go into a cool down back to 385 newtons, or approximately 38 kilos. So are you ready? Again, the objective is to maintain your force through the range. The colors are your real-time force that you're exerting against the pedal. The white bar, or is horizontal bar, is your average force through the range. The purpose of the exercise is not to kick once, but rather to maintain that control through the range, through the entire exercise. And you're doing quite well. So during the first minute, we're not calculating your percentage on target during the warm-up. However, we are calculating the work in kilojoules and the number of repetitions that you are undertaking. Once we get into the exercise mode of it, So in other words, a 771 Newton target force in about 10 seconds, we're going to start calculating your percentage on target as well as your power output. So in 5 seconds, it's going to double up to 771 or 770. So now we're calculating your on-target performance. Right now on the right side, you're 100%. On the left side, you're 80 for a combine of 90 or 91 because it just moved. Number of watts so far, combined watts, 80 watts, 4 kilojoules, and you're about 30 repetitions right now. Within the protocol established, the first session will be 5 minutes. If you achieve 75% on target percentage, then the system will move you to the second stage, which will be a 10-minute session with the same target force. If you do reach 75% on your second session, then we will go ahead and move you forward into a 15-minute session. And again, you would have to achieve a 75% threshold passing rate in order to move into the next stage. But before we move into the next stage, you will be redosed after successfully completing the first 3 stages of 5, 10, and 15 minutes. We want to make sure that if there have been any gains in strength, that those are reflected in your training. You're doing very well. It's alerting you to stay in range. We have the machine set up again at a threshold passing rate of 75%. You can change that if you want. You can customize it, make it higher or make it lower. You can also customize the yellow zone so you can be more precise on your stride and the controls. So you can put a plus or minus 5%, or you can put a plus or minus 30%. Right now it's a plus or minus 20%. Sorry, plus or minus 10%. So now we're in our 3rd minute, 1 minute of warm up, 2 minutes of exercise. And we have 1 more minute of exercise before we go into our cool down.